You know, I've heard people make a little tongue-in-cheek jab at Canada's state broadcaster, the CBC, calling it the Communist Broadcasting Corporation. And, you know, I've thought it might be a little bit of an amusing aside, but it's an exaggeration. Well, not now. CBC has actually published an article glorifying communism. Literally, this is what the article is about: reclaiming Marxism in an age of meaningless work. The article published by CBC Radio focuses on the thoughts by a couple of Marxist professors. What else is new, right? And in it, they talk about how capitalism has failed society. Capitalism keeps us from creating value in life, says Yale professor. Another paragraph. This is not a quote from a professor, but actually a quote in the CBC story itself, published without a byline. More than a century and a half after Marx first talked about the struggles between the ruling class and labor, the promise of capitalism, that progress was inevitable and would ultimately lead to good things for everyone, has proven empty for many people. So CBC says that the promise of capitalism has proven empty for a lot of people, not with any challenging voice. No one in the article pushes back and says, well, actually, capitalism has lifted billions out of poverty. Capitalism has saved the world from war. Capitalism has let people create wealth that was absolutely unattainable prior to the Industrial Revolution. No, it focuses on how apparently Marxism is the antidote to people that feel like their life and work has no meaning. The problem is that Marxism and communism are inextricably linked to one another. You can't view one without talking about what has come about whenever it's been implemented. Now, sure, your armchair communists love to point to the Soviet Union and China and say, well, no, but that's not real communism. Places that love to say, no, you could put Marxism without having all of the death and famine and destruction and all of these other things. Communism has a death toll of about 100 million people. And for anyone to glorify it without it being challenged is no less reprehensible than an article saying, let's reclaim fascism. Where's that article, CBC? Where's the article saying we have to reclaim fascism? No, that would be absolutely disgusting, as is an article extolling the supposed virtues of communism. Tens of millions of lives lost to genocide and famine and destruction in the Soviet Union. Lives lost in China, rights obliterated. Mongolia, at the hands of the Chinese Communist state. You look at Cambodia as well, millions subjected to genocide at the hands of the communist regime in Cambodia. This is not a philosophy that should at all be extolled. And sure, Marx himself might not have been responsible for this, but it is impossible to separate his ideology from what's come about when the ideology that he created has been pushed through at the hands of autocrats and state communists. Shame on CBC for putting a romantic spin on this. For True North, I'm Andrew Lawton.